We have talked many times before on this channel about cinematic universe comics that tell the backstories of films. Many cinematic universes, including the Marvel Cinematic Universe, have comic books that fill in the gaps of their stories. Since a large majority of these comics are considered canon, I prepare videos about them for you. In universes like Transformers, Monsterverse, or Marvel, it is impossible to explain everything in the movies. That's why they release comics for those who want more details. In Marvel's latest cinematic universe-related comics, there was a scene featuring Scarlet Witch. In this video, I will explain all the details you might want to know, while I share the latest details with you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video to stay updated on new content. This comic issue was announced a long time ago as part of Marvel's pre-movie stories, offering a short but important storyline. It's worth mentioning that this comic features Captain Carter, Spider-Gwen, Gambit, and Hunter B. Even Mobius appears, and they even showed that he was assassinated. The story takes place not in the TVA from the comics, but directly in the TVA from the MCU. I won't give too many spoilers for those who want to read it, but it's important to note that the designs of the characters closely resemble their MCU versions. In the most recent comic issue, Spider-Gwen sneaks into a hidden area of the TVA, where she finds Scarlet Witch trapped in a sleep mode. From her costume and the black marks on her fingers, many believe that this is the Wanda we saw in the MCU. However, nothing is certain yet, because the comic issue ended at this exact moment. In the next issue, they will likely explain where Scarlet Witch came from. So, for now, we can't say for sure that this is the Wanda who tried to kill herself in our universe. But if it turns out to be her, this could provide a great connection to the Avengers Doomsday movie. It was previously stated that Wanda had died in the MCU, but let's not forget that Loki was also killed at the beginning of Infinity War, only to be later rescued by the TVA from an earlier point in time. This means that Scarlet Witch could still be alive in another timeline, having been captured by the TVA for future use. Some may ask, why would the TVA keep Scarlet Witch in sleep mode at their facility? If you watched Deadpool and Wolverine, you might remember Mr. Paradox mentioning a future war. He said that both key entities and Deadpool would play an important role in this conflict. Even though Deadpool's world was destroyed, he was taken by the TVA because he had an important mission in the future. Similarly, the TVA may have kidnapped a version of Scarlet Witch from the MCU, possibly from the Multiverse of Madness era, and held her captive. After all, Scarlet Witch is too dangerous to be sent to the void. In fact, in Deadpool and Wolverine, they showed that a variant of Wanda was pruned, and even Scarlet Witch's hand was sent to the void. So, the Wanda we see in this comic may not be our original Wanda, but an alternate reality or timeline version of her. Something similar happened to Loki. The TVA might want to use Scarlet Witch in the future, or maybe she has already become a threat to Loki. In an Apple Vision Pro exclusive What If storyline, Scarlet Witch used the Infinity Stones to replace the One Who Remains and started haunting Loki. She tried to take Loki's place and reshape the sacred timeline as she wished. However, they managed to stop her and save Loki. When Scarlet Witch discovered the hidden abilities of the Darkhold, she learned how to watch over her own variants. This gave her the opportunity to see the lives of all Scarlet Witch variants across different realities. If the Wanda we see in this comic is not our Wanda, it is very likely that she discovered the TVA while dreamwalking and attacked it. However, since the TVA is protected by enchantments, Wanda's magic would be useless in this place. This makes the TVA the safest place to imprison her. As you know, magic and Infinity Stones don't work within the TVA, but if they reset the system or disable the mechanisms that block her powers, Wanda will wake up and that means trouble for everyone. If this story directly connects to Avengers Doomsday, it would be very exciting. However, if they resolve it entirely within the comic, don't get your hopes up too much. After all, a corrupted Scarlet Witch, or the Darkhold on Mount Wundagore didn't only exist in Earth 616. Deadpool and Wolverine showed us that variants exist elsewhere. Marvel's pre-movie comics have always provided valuable details about the stories. For example, in the Avengers, they explained how Thor returned to Earth despite the destruction of the Bifrost Bridge in his first movie, since Loki was sucked into the void created by the Bifrost and ended up becoming an agent of Thanos. It would have been impossible for Thor to use the Bifrost to return. So, Odin absorbed the dark matter that powered the Bifrost and sent Thor to Earth. And since they still hadn't rebuilt the Bifrost by the end of the movie, they had to use the Tesseract to return to Asgard. This shows that pre-movie comics are meant to provide extra context rather than change the main story. Typically, Marvel releases these comics after the movies hit theaters, so they don't spoil anything. At worst, they publish them after the first trailer is released to prevent major leaks. Scarlet Witch was already confirmed to return in Avengers Doomsday, but it was also confirmed that the returning Wanda would be the variant from Earth-6. Technically, Loki from Infinity War and the TVA's Loki are both from the 616 universe, just from different points in time. If the TVA can capture characters from different time periods, then it makes sense that they could have taken Wade Wilson from his universe and let him travel across realities before returning home. Eventually, Wanda will return, and we know that Dr. Doom will be the one to bring her back. However, we're not the only ones aware of this. The TVA knows what will happen in the future, which is why they want to be prepared. Since Avengers Doomsday is set to release in 2026, it seems suspicious that Marvel is revealing such major story details this early. When more information comes out, I'll update you all here. In my opinion, there are 3 possible explanations. 1. The TVA rescued Wanda after the collapse of Mount Wundagore and hid her in their facility. 2. They captured her from a different point in the main timeline. 3. This is a variant of Wanda from a universe that closely resembles ours. At this point, anything is possible, so it's too soon to make definitive claims. When Mount Wundagore was destroyed, there was an explosion or possibly even a teleportation event. This explosion is the biggest clue that Wanda could have survived. What do you think? Do you believe the comic showed us the MCU Wanda, or is Marvel just trolling us? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this content. If you have suggestions for other videos, feel free to leave them in the comments. That's all for now. Take care, and see you next time.